This might just be a MoistCr1TiKaL hate stream, to be honest. I might just sit here and ramble for the entire night about just how much I cannot stand. I think we're gonna call it, I think they're like, I think intellectual is the best term. MoistCr1TiKaL. They're obsessed with the idea of thinking like a child, of expressing things like a child. I saw, I don't know if you guys, so I don't think many of you guys probably watch a lot of JStalk at the moment because you're all YouTube viewers. Jesus. I went on JStalk the other night and he was covering, what was it? Dude, my throat. He was covering this MoistCr1TiKaL video that came out the other day, where basically MoistCr1TiKaL's super pissed off because this, I guess, this kick streamer girl, this little kick streamer e-whore, basically paid a homeless woman $20 to jump into a lake and she almost drowned. MoistCr1TiKaL was just sitting there fucking virtue signaling and fucking concerned, trolling about how evil it is. Like, dude, the girl went over and was like, do you want to go skinny dipping? And the homeless woman was like, immediately, is like, oh yeah, let's jump in. Let's jump in. How old are you? It's like, who gives a fuck, man? She didn't even die. She didn't even die. Was it, like, irresponsible? It was irresponsible, sure. But the woman didn't even fucking die. She obviously didn't intend for, you know, how do you know? The woman obviously didn't know when she went over to this homeless person. Oh yeah, this homeless person can't swim. This one specifically, I know this one can't swim. It's not like she's trying to kill her. Did she get the $20? I don't know. I don't know if she got the $20. Let's watch the MoistCr1TiKaL video. Yeah, the homeless woman says, I can't swim, like, fucking 5 seconds before she jumps into the lake. People shouldn't be doing stuff like that just for views. What, doing stuff like what for views? You can't jump into lakes on live streams now? Or you just can't ask other people to jump into lakes? That seems retarded. Or you just can't ask homeless people to jump into lakes? What's the line we're drawing here? What bad thing did this woman actually do? She does not say, I can't swim, before the woman tells her to jump in. That's not true. Basically, the moment that they meet, I watched it on JStalks. Basically, the moment they meet, they're talking about jumping in. That was the whole premise of the conversation. Picking on homeless people is wrong. That's exploitation. Okay, so you can never have homeless people in content ever. You can never have homeless people around ever. What's the line? What's the line here? What line are we drawing? Explain to me the line. I'm asking for someone to explain to me what the bad thing is. Because you are always, all of you watch, 90%, 99% of the content you people watch is vulnerable people being exploited. I hate to tell you guys this, but that's 99% of the content you people enjoy. So please, please, explain to me what the line is here. I am begging for someone to explain to me. Because you know what's actually happening here? Do you know what's actually happening here? Is MoistCr1TiKaL gets on his fucking YouTube channel every day just to bitch and cry about fucking kick. That's every day of the... It's just facts. I'm sorry. It's just facts. It's just facts. That wasn't a slur. That was a sound of frustration, okay? I said dude. It was a sound of frustration. Don't you kind of just bitch as well? Yeah, but the point is that he... Okay, yeah, my point isn't that he gets on his videos and bitches. My point is that he is obsessed with hating this one specific platform and doesn't care what the truth of a story is, or the thought process of what makes the content bad. He doesn't care about any of that. He just cares about the platform and saying bad things about that platform. That's all he cares about, and will make things fit. Like I was saying on J-Stalks the other night, it's fucking pathetic. The way he acted over that shit with Speed and Aiden, where Speed's like 17 and Aiden's like 19, and they made a joke about how one of them had seen the other's dick, and he's sitting there acting like he's a pedophile because a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old bros made a joke about seeing the other's dick. Please fucking get me out. Where's this fucking video? I can't even find the shit. He was like, he didn't call them pedophiles, obviously. Like I say, acting like they're pedophiles. But being like, it's so weird. It's so weird to make a joke like that about a minor. It's so weird. I can't believe you make that creepy joke about a minor. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, seriously, get a grip. Where is that video? Let me find it. Am I going? He's got so many videos about fucking Aiden and Speed, dude. I can't. This is all this guy talks about. How do I? And all of his video titles are terrible. I didn't want to talk about this. Like what? Thank you for the 5 gifted, Quack. No, it's not gay. It's not gay either. That's retarded. Stop being fucking retarded. Holy shit. Come on. It's not gay. It's not gay. It's not pedophilic. It's incredibly average. Very normal. Very, very funny. Very funny, bro. Humor. Where's I can't see it. I could not tell you which one of MoistCr1TiKaL's videos is which from any of the thumbnails or titles. I'm scrolling. Let me go on this chat. Oh, let's Google search it. Speed, Aiden, MoistCr1TiKaL, scene, cock. Yeah, okay, right. Here's a fucking Sportskeeda article. It's just disturbing. MoistCr1TiKaL slams Aiden Ross after latter claims he saw IShowSpeed's privates thousands of times. Streamer and YouTuber Charlie MoistCr1TiKaL scrutinized fellow streamer Aiden Ross for not carefully considering his recent admission of having seen Darren IShowSpeed's privates, especially given that the latter only turned 18 this year. Oh my god. Oh my god. Only turned 18 this year. Oh my god. Charlie, I'm going to... Yeah, call the police. Call the police. Someone call CPS. Someone call CPS. Arrest Aiden Ross. Is it this one? Yeah, okay. Right, here we go. Here we go.
The only thing slower than the DMV is YouTube responding to a problem. When it comes to YouTube addressing a situation or fixing an issue, they take the scenic route. Most of the time, it's just wildly inefficient. It feels like their strategy for handling problems or issues is just to cross their fingers, close their eyes, plug their ears, and just pray that whatever the problem is, it doesn't result in a viral tweet. Because that seems to be the only kryptonite to Superman here. That is the only time YouTube's arm is ever twisted enough to finally address or rectify something. At least that's the way it has been for a long time. I do think they are getting a bit better at it. But in the case of IShowSpeed here, with the situation that happened yesterday, I have never seen YouTube move this fast. In the 17 years I've been on the platform, I've never seen this side of YouTube. They fired on the turbo jets. They engaged the NOS boosters in order to quickly explain what's going on with the whole IShowSpeed situation. I'll go ahead and bring you up to speed on the lore just in case you don't know what the situation is. IShowSpeed is YouTube's biggest streamer, and yesterday while streaming Five Nights at Freddy's, he really rocked out with his cock out. He got a jump scare from Chica, which resulted in him thrusting into the webcam until his dick flopped out.
This was so
those damn
based.
Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics are so quirky that sometimes penis.
That was so based.
Yeah, IShowSpeed was overreacting to the jump scare for the sake of entertaining his audience, and then he took it to the next level by saying that he wants to fuck Chica and started thrusting at the webcam, and then his wiener just just ended up on stream and flashed the entire audience, which of course became a huge story online and a huge question mark as to what would happen next. A lot of people are wondering if YouTube was going to give him a strike or if they're going to outright ban his channel because nudity is against their rules. And YouTube has swiftly come out to answer this question. YouTube says that they're not going to ban him or anything like that, or even give him a strike. It'll just be business as usual. He's fine to continue moving forward on the platform as he has been. They stated that while it was a violation of their policy, the fact that Speed removed the broadcast and everything associated with it means that he was in the clear, which to me makes me think that YouTube actually factored in that it was an accident. I highly doubt he wanted to become known as I Show Meat as a result from all this. I don't think it was a premeditated cock jump scare. Now, I said this in the last video, but I'm going to mention it again here, and it's something everyone else has mentioned as well. I Show Speed's main audience is on the younger side of things. There's a lot of kids that watch him. Plus, he was streaming 5 nights.
Bro, I hate this so much. Oh my god, dude. He's so gay, dude. It's crazy. I Show Speed has a child audience. What if they're traumatized from seeing his cock accidentally flash online? What if these 15-year-olds are traumatized by seeing someone's cock accidentally flash online in a humorous moment because of a jump scare? Oh no. Dude, get a fucking grip. Get a fucking grip.
At Freddy's, which is a horror franchise that has a very large audience with younger viewers. So I really don't think the argument of this potentially being on purpose for the sake of attention...
Yeah, dude, this is the same guy that has whole videos on his channel about fucking dildos, by the way. Who do you think's watching that? Do you think that's fucking 30-year-olds, dude? Dildo, where's this shit? Dildo circus.
If your status in
society... Do you think 35-year-olds are watching that? You think actually who watches this shit, bro? Or do you think this is watched by 12-year-olds? Who do you think you're entertaining here, bro? Seriously, who do you think you're entertaining? You're like, actually, I would love to know. Because you clearly have a fucking problem whenever there's any sexuality in front of anyone else's child audience. But this is for fucking kids, bro. You're making kids content. This is the shit that you send around to your friends in fucking year 7, dog.
Publicity is a strong argument. Like, I don't think there's any world where Speed actually planned to expose himself in front of this audience playing this game. Because if he did, that'd be the stupidest idea ever, and he would probably be looking at a much more serious case than just a potential strike on YouTube. So I highly doubt that this was a scheme. I really don't think that this idea crossed his mind for content like, I'm gonna throw my meat at the webcam and it's gonna generate all kinds of headlines. Like, I just really don't think that was the case. And I think YouTube gets the same impression that it wasn't on purpose, because I don't think usually they would allow this to be just a squeaky clean, you know, go forward and don't do it again type situation. Because I recall a few times in the past there have been channels that have uploaded either softcore pornography or just full-blown porn, and even though they removed the content shortly after posting it, they still either faced strikes for it or just outright termination. So the fact that they're not doing either of those in the Speed case makes me believe that they actually did have a human review of the situation here and eventually deemed that it wasn't on purpose, thus...
The kids watch Charlie? Well, I've been incredibly concerned. I would be incredibly concerned about anyone over the age of 20, 25 watching Critical. Yeah, I would be really fucking concerned. I think you have to be operating on the level of a teenager latest, really. Now, I will say, okay, we do have to give some grace to women up till 25 for sure. They don't, you know, women struggle. But honestly, it's content for teenagers. It's content for young teenagers too. Not like 18. It's not content for 18-year-olds. It's not content for 17-year-olds. It's content for 13 to 16-year-olds. It requires no thought. I don't think Charlie's ever had really an original take. He's never had a take that would be controversial to have, from what I've seen. He is just the most drone, NPC, useless slop content creator on the platform. He was against iDubbbz's apology. Yep, that's... Listen. Yeah, that's not a controversial take to have. It's like when... that's like when Asmongold gives his light pushback against Hassan. That's like when Asmongold goes, oh yeah, I don't... You know, Hassan's like a political streamer. I don't agree with everything he says. That's what that's like. That's what you're telling me right there. How does he get views? There's a lot of 13 to 16-year-olds on the internet. What do you mean? There's a lot of people who are mentally 13 to 16 years old on the internet too. And they allow Charlie to make 8 figures a year. For saying nothing all day, every day. Isn't it kind of weird that you did this in front of your child audience every fucking day of the year? 24/7. 365.
They shouldn't be super harsh with the policy enforcement here. I don't think this is the norm with their nudity policy. I don't think people are going to be able to get away with, you know, pretending that something was accidental. Like if you're doing a stream, for example, I go live right now, I take off all my clothes, I'm bare ass naked, and I start juggling my balls at the webcam before going offline. I don't think I could get away with deleting that footage and then being okay. I'm sure I would probably face a strike bare minimum because I had planned to do that and knowingly broadcast content that violates the YouTube terms. Whereas here, it doesn't seem like that was ever the plan. It seems like what Speed wanted was an over-the-top loud reaction that went out of control.
Like, what has he said here? We've had 5 minutes for him to say. What has he said? I think Speed got off light from YouTube because it was an accident. Wow. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Seriously, man. This was worth the fucking... How much AdSense did you make from this shit? 5.5 million views. How much AdSense, bro?
Overall, I'm pretty surprised that it didn't even result in a strike. YouTube's not exactly a platform that's known for its leniency when it comes to their rules. They never take context in consideration when it comes to anything with their policies. They've always shown themselves to be cutthroat, no mercy, and won't even listen to your side of a situation. So I was stunned to see that this resulted in them just being like, hey, you know, it happens. Carry on. But anyway, that's the most recent update on this whole story. But I do want to give a quick mention to a really degenerate clip that I just saw floating around about Aiden Ross's response to this.
Okay, here we go.
Guys, stop talking about I don't give a fuck. I've seen it thousands of times.
Here we go. This is funny. Aiden Ross is so funny.
Situation. So I was stunned to see that. But anyway, that's the most recent update on this whole story. But I do want to give a quick mention to a really degenerate clip that I just saw floating around about Aiden Ross's response to this.
Bro, guys, stop talking about his penis. I don't give a fuck. I've seen it thousands of times. I've known Speed for years. I've seen it in person thousands of times. I don't care.
Like, this is what's so crazy. Degenerate clip. You mean the most base thing ever? Please, Charlie, fuck off. Delete your account. Holy shit.
I saw it and I laughed. I smiled. I don't care, bro.
I Show Speed just turned 18. He just turned 18 this year. And Aiden is saying that he's seen his penis in person thousands of times?
Problem?
What the fuck, man? I don't know if he's just trying to make some kind of weird pedophile joke about himself.
Pedophile joke?
He's just being totally honest, going mask off about
pedophile joke. Pedophile joke. They're like 3 years apart or some shit. 3 or 4 years apart. He was like 17 and he's seen his cock a few times.
And Aiden is saying that he's seen his penis in person thousands of times? What the fuck, man? I don't know if he's just trying to make some kind of weird pedophile joke about himself.
Please. Seek made. Oh man, it's crazy. This is the worst guy in the fucking world.
If he's just being totally honest, going mask off about seeing a kid's penis thousands of times over the years that he's known him, it's just disturbing. Why would
seeing
you
a kid's penis? Seeing a child's penis?
Penis thousands of times. It makes it seem like you were grooming him.
Dude, does it? Does it, Charlie? Does it make it seem like that? Is that the interpretation that most people would come away with here? Really? Is it, Charlie?
Thousands of times over the years that he's known him? It's just disturbing. Why would you have seen a child's penis thousands of times? It makes it seem like you were grooming him. Like,
you're like, so this is a homosexual. He has had no male friends his entire fucking life. And the ones he has have looked down at him so horrifically. He's been treated so poorly by every other male in his life, and he is resentful about it.
Your friend was if he kept showing you his wiener or something like that with the way you're speaking about it. It is scary. That's some frightening shit. Again, I don't know if this was supposed to be a joke, but if it was, that is a weird one to make. That's setting off all kinds of alarm bells.
No, it's not. That set off 0 alarm bells. That set off exactly 0 alarm bells.
Red buzzers blaring. That is a big old self-report there. That is a joke that...
Self-report. Because 2 guys, a few years apart, have seen each other's cocks. As bros. Spare me, dude. Seriously, it's fucking nuts.
You couldn't torture someone enough to make seeing a minor's penis thousands of times. Meanwhile, Aiden's just openly stating it, admitting to it with a big old smile on his face, bouncing up and down in his seat, super...
Because it's fucking hilarious. Because it's fucking hilarious, dude.
Kitty to share the information that he's apparently seen.
Yeah, because it's fucking funny. What, you know?
IShowSpeed's penis thousands of times over the years before he was 18.
And?
Creepy.
Creepy?
Very creepy.
Yeah?
But anyway, yeah, that's really about the whole update on the situation as of right now.
Please, find male friends, socialize yourself properly. So wait, did Aiden Ross respond? Aiden Ross should have fucking raked them over the coals for this. Fucking moron. Absolute fucking moron. What a fucking idiot. Speed's not a kid. He was freshly 18 here, okay? He was freshly 18. So Aiden Ross, if you think about the timeline, he would have seen it before he was 18, which means he was a kid and a child, a minor, like in Minecraft. A miner from the hit game Minecraft. And that means you can never make a joke. You can never make a joke like, oh yeah, I've seen his cock thousands of times. Charlie has never been to a gym with male friends. He's never been to, well, I never have either. He's never been to any kind of changing room or some shit. I don't know, dude. Fucking urinals. Never been to showers at a swimming pool. Never been to a bathhouse. There's absolutely there's no way Aiden Ross could have seen a 17-year-old Speed's cock thousands of times unless he was grooming him. That is the only explanation. It's the only explanation, really. That's all that joke could mean. It's a pedophile joke. And Aiden Ross is self-reporting. Yep, thanks, Charlie. This is a high-tier analysis. I see why you get paid the big bucks now. Yeah, anyone who hasn't received like a super close-up picture of their friend's cock and balls at some point in their life, I just don't believe that you have male friends. If that hasn't been posted in a group chat before, you don't have male friends. It's just, sorry, you don't. Where was the other one as well? The critical Aiden Ross one. Which
one of the largest streamers on.
This shit was so gay.
Talk about it later, and
I don't know if it's in this one. No, it's not.
Is he live?
Anyway, yeah, he did the same thing with this when Aiden Ross went on Pornhub for like all the fucking 5 seconds. Anyway, fuck it. We should move on to the main one. I hate this guy. I really do hate this guy. And that's not even starting on the fucking, what is it, Maximilian Muzz stuff, where he said Maximilian Muzz was running like a pedo ring.
I was an
no
extra
evidence.
in the Hunger Games mock.
Then there was the vegan gain stuff, where MoistCr1TiKaL was making videos complaining about that Asian woman who would eat live animals. And then Vegan Gains said, why would you care so much about someone eating live animals on camera when you're perfectly happy to support the meat industry? A valid point. And MoistCr1TiKaL was like, well, I pay someone to kill it humanely. Very retarded. Very retarded. People just accept it. People are willing to accept like these huge like leaps in, or like total gaps in his logic, or gaps in his analysis. Gaps in evidence. Because he's like so fucking milquetoast. Just parrots whatever people want to fucking hear that day. Whatever's updated on Reddit. Whatever's popular on Twitter. And we're just like, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Cool. Yeah, Charlie, you won. Anyway, yeah. Let's watch this new Pokimane editor video. So for people who don't know, there was a clip going around yesterday. We did talk about it last night. Where Pokimane's basically complaining that she had an editor and he was taking too long to edit her videos because he was spending too much time jerking off to her. And then he told her about that. So obviously she fired him. Obviously, MoistCr1TiKaL, I imagine, is going to have a very insightful take here. So, I can't wait. I really can't wait.
Crazy clip from Pokemon's stream going viral right now that I really want to talk about, but it also made me want to speak on a story I've never told about an experience I've had that's somewhat similar to the one she describes here, at least in terms of creepiness. And, well, now I finally have a reason to get that baby off my chest here, so that's going to be cathartic.
He's going to talk about the treatment of women,
many
treatment of women
ago,
streamers.
When I was like super omega active on YouTube, and I was working with a lot of different editors. There was one
I can't believe a
editor in
Cheeto did this.
particular that I would work with
cannot believe a
a
Cheeto
lot
did
because
this.
his edits were really, really good, but he had one major problem.
I want to hear Mr. Girl talk about this. That's who I want to hear talk about this drama, honestly. That I desperately do. I mean, I know what his take would be. It would be, it's fine for him to jerk off. He just shouldn't have told her about it. Right? I would imagine. But still, I think he would also say that Pokemon probably enjoyed him telling her this. I think she probably did. I'm pretty convinced. I think when women tell stories like this, I think they do enjoy it. I think they do enjoy it. It's like I saw earlier, Pixie. What did Pixie tweet? She tweets this. The duality of being a woman online. Shut up, CUNT. Stop posting your retarded Drek opinions. I want to fuck you so hard and come inside you. Like, there's a sick enjoyment to posting this. There's some kind of validation going on here. I think that's almost always the case when people are posting, like, when you're like putting up posts showcasing like people just saying obscene sexual stuff to you. That makes me think, all right. Why are you showcasing that? Why do you feel such a need to express that? Do you think she gets validation from the Squire posting? Anyway.
Which was that sometimes out of nowhere, his videos would just be like a week or two late. Months go by, and he messages me out of the blue, and he says, "Hey, do you have time to talk? I'm ready to finally tell you why I've been struggling so much with deadlines."
In the history of the human race, I don't think there has ever been a good ending to the sentence, "Hey, do you have a minute to talk?" That always precedes the most vile shit you'll ever hear in your life. I can't even imagine a situation where you'd hear that sentence and think anything other than the most negative thing you'll ever hear is about to happen. Like, imagine you're in heaven and the Lord pulls you aside right in front of the pearly gates and he says, "Hey, you got a minute to talk?" Well, you immediately assume you're just going to hell. Like, there's just no world where that sentence ever precedes good news.
Shut up, dude. Please, shut up. Holy fuck. Shut up.
A week or two late is because he couldn't stop touching himself. I'll try to pick which word to use. To me, his, in a way, employer of many, many months.
Stop for a second and really let that stew in your noodle. Let it marinate for a bit. How Coomer-brained must you be, not only to do this degenerate act of just fucking beating your meat to a streamer's gameplay footage that you're editing, but then tell her that the reason you're late on some of the edits is because you can't.
Really? You have to be sick in the head to jerk off over a Twitch streamer? Really? You think there's got to be something fundamentally wrong with someone to jerk off over a Twitch streamer? Do you really think that, Charlie? Do you really think that, Charlie? I don't think you think that, Charlie.
I'll try to pick which word to use. To me, his, in a way, employer of many, many months.
Stop for a second and really let that
Everyone's
stew.
saying yes. I'm assuming you do it. I'm assuming the people saying yes do it. Because anyone else can see, that's probably not that crazy. Anyone else can see that, so if you're saying yes, I'm assuming you're the ones doing it, because you're the ones lying.
In your noodle, let it marinate for a bit. How Coomer-brained must you be, not only to do this degenerate act of just fucking beating your meat to a streamer's gameplay footage that you're editing, but then tell her that the reason you're late on some of the edits is because you can't stop squeezing your hog to the footage that she sends you. There are so many.
Obviously, you shouldn't have told her. Obviously, you shouldn't have told her. That's the problem. He shouldn't have interrupted his work, and he shouldn't have told her.
layers to this onion here. Let's just start by picking apart the most obvious. Why? Now, I know in the most severe cases of porn addicts, they'll sometimes try and communicate directly to the porn star by, like, leaving comments or sending messages or whatever, and that's always the saddest shit you'll ever see. That'll bring a tear to even the strongest man's eyes. Occasionally, you'll see those moments where dudes try and directly communicate to the porn star, leaving comments on their posts saying things like, can't wait to watch this one when I'm off work, or when my wife goes to bed, that's when the bad boy will play, thanks for providing me with the night's entertainment, whatever. Like, just leaving these desperate posts, you know, cock in hand, giving a salute, like, thank you, madame, for your service. This will be a legendary gooning sesh. But even in those cases, they're communicating with someone they don't know. This guy was her editor for many months. And he was not only jerking off to the content he was being sent, which was just gameplay videos, I imagine, or like just chatting stream moments, nothing even sexual, and he was still choking the chicken to it, fucking playing the skin flute, and then had the gall to tell her that he was doing that is just incomprehensibly...
Okay, we are 4 minutes in, and I've received no information here. We've had the most baseline take ever. The most baseline take ever. Most safe take ever. Total eunuch take. Average YouTube eunuch take. Oh, anything to do with sex, that's degenerate. So I'm just, of course, guy degenerate for jerking off to it, because I totally wouldn't do that. I totally would never jerk off to a Twitch streamer, so I've got to make it clear that I would never do that by saying it's degenerate. 4 minutes in and that's all we've got.
Unhinged. She was his boss. She was employing him. So he basically went right through HR, bypassed that protocol, went straight to the top of the food chain, kicked in the door, and said, listen, boss, I'm fucking obliterating my wiener, and what are you gonna do about it? That's why I've been late on my deadlines. Like, I don't think he came in with that energy. I bet he was, like, super shy about it. He was probably like, oh, Pokimane, so I know I've been kind of late recently, but it's only because I was, ooh, how do you say, jerking off to your work.
When I tell you I've never halted a conversation so fast, because I'm like, you're the person that I send like hours of footage to. I don't want to know what you're jacking it to. I don't want to know more. I shouldn't even know how much I know right now. I shouldn't know.
I'd actually argue that it's better she did know this, no matter how awful it is, but that way she can get the fuck away from this weirdo ASAP. Just say, take a hike, Buster. This is fucking terrible.
But I felt so bad.
Okay.
So when he's like, you know, like, this is like an addiction of mine, I genuinely felt really, really bad. So I still paid him for months. What the hell do I do? Fire him? Am I
like, what is even the point of this video?
List for the best reasons to fire someone. That actually might be reason number one why you could go ahead and can somebody. Because they can't stop fucking beating their cock to you, their employer. And they're also not doing their job.
I don't think anyone's saying she shouldn't have fired this guy. Who is this for?
Well, by being 1 to 2 weeks late, which, by the way...
Wow, yeah, if someone says they're jerking off to you, should, and that's why they're missing deadlines, you should probably fire them. Thanks, Charlie. Another day, another insightful video from Charlie Critical, Charlie Critical Penguins, or whatever the fuck this guy's name is. Dude, I fucking... It's just like, it's like an AI article. This is what Charlie is. He's like, he's this. He's this. He's Sports Kida. He's Dexerto on YouTube. That's all he is. It's just, what's the trending topic today? Let me recite the details of it to you in the most boilerplate way. That's not going to offend you, not going to make you think in any way. There's going to be no thought pass through your head other than just purely the information for the story. And the most baseline take you could ever imagine. And I'm just going to churn this out day after day after day after day. Yeah, Carly Gotaku Critical. It's just so lame. He is just this. He's AI slop. MoistCr1TiKaL will be the first YouTuber replaced by AI.
Is a long time of just fucking gooning here. This degenerate would miss his deadlines by a week or even up to 2 weeks because he was obsessively polishing his scepter to his employer. You 100% can and should fire someone like this. It's not like the Better Business Bureau is going to defend him. You're not going to have agents show up at your door knocking and be like, hey, listen, we know what happened here. You discriminated against this kind, gentle sir. You fired him just because he was obsessively masturbating to you. Well, I'll have you know this is a free country, ma'am. This is a civilized society. You can't fire someone for that. There's no crime. What is the charge? Busting a nut? An immaculate gooey nut? This is democracy manifest. Like that just wouldn't happen. But I actually understand why she was hesitant to do that. And this is where I'm going to get into a story I don't think I've ever told. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Where I had something somewhat similar happen a long time ago. Not to this level, but something closely related. So
okay,
a while back,
tell a
I
story.
used to just accept any voice acting role I was offered by any human being with a pulse on the planet. If they said they needed voice lines done, I would do them for free just because I really enjoyed doing it. It's actually how I met Jackson. And if you have ever watched the official podcast, you'll know that our X-Men origin story between Jackson and I's friendship is that Jackson actually scammed me through this process. He sent me an email asking if I'd be down to do voice work for his upcoming game, and then sent me like some in-game screenshots and promotional screenshots that were actually just Dark Souls images that he photoshopped to fit his game style that he tried to sell me on. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm definitely down to do voice work. And it turns out he never had that game, he just wanted to play games together, and we did, and ended up becoming extremely close friends, and now we make God Slap together. Like, he's been a friend of mine for almost a decade now, and it came from that. But there's definitely a dark side to that. The Sith Lords definitely did exploit that very stupid thing I used to do, just accepting any voice acting roles ever from anybody. So, I think this was after I had met Jackson and after we were friends. I can't quite remember the exact chronological timeline here, but I received a very interesting email from a very peculiar man that, under any other circumstances, probably would have triggered red flags in a sensible person's mind. But for me, I saw the word like voice acting opportunity and I was like, I'm in. Say no more. So I emailed him back saying that I was absolutely down to do this and when should we get to work on it. So we communicated back and forth a little bit and eventually set up a Skype call. Because this is when Skype was still popular. I think one of the best things that's happened in modern day is that Skype has died. That was legitimately just like fucking official malware. That was the worst program.
This is I fucking hate this video. I fucking hate this guy's whole channel.
That ever saw success, and I am embarrassed that it ever got as popular as it did. But this was a different time and day back then. So we went in Skype and we had our first voice call a couple days after that initial email came through.
Stable boy.
And it wasn't like super weird. He conducted himself pretty professionally. He was trying to tell me about the game. I don't remember all the details around it. It was a game that never was going to happen though. It was unbelievably ambitious. It was some kind of like MMO hack and slash with like a super deep branching plot lines, all made by him, the solo dev. He was just spamming every buzzword he could about this game, but again, it didn't matter to me because it was voice acting work and I wanted to get the reps in. And so I just said, yeah, like I'm super on board, let's stay in contact, you can send me the script and whatever else you need. And that was kind of the end of our like introductory call. And man, did I open Pandora's box. Pretty much immediately after that call, he would start messaging me on Skype often. And it wasn't about the project all the time. Sometimes it was just about his day, which I would engage with. I'd be like, oh, it's really interesting to hear about how your day's been going. Thanks so much for sharing. And then he'd start tiptoeing into like some other small talk. It started to feel like he was interrogating me sometimes, where he'd be like, so what'd you do today? And I'd tell him, be like, oh, so like, you didn't really respond earlier. I thought you were just doing something really important, but you were just hanging out at home. That's kind of weird. Like, what? Are you sure that's all you're doing? I was like, brother, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just not like always on Skype. He's like, oh, that's fine. Just didn't respond to me. And then he'd start gradually asking more and more questions, like questions you would ask someone on like the most awkward first date imaginable if you were some kind of Reddit mod. He'd be like asking me certain things like about anime and just like general interest.
Tell us the fucking story, man. Just tell us what happened.
And shit. And this is right before I graduated college. I was still in college because I remember he was asking me about how my schooling went today on the game. I was in C# really just fucking in my flow state, like notch. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Do you have like that script or anything ready? He's like, oh, it's still being worked on. Like, why are you checking in like this? I don't care. And we're not really like close or anything. So why would you get upset if I don't like respond to you in a timely enough fashion? Like, it was just a disaster. So this went on for like a few weeks of this kind of stuff happening every couple of days. And I was ready to just watch really very like, deep messages, and some of them just very unsettling. And then he eventually sent me a message talking about how he's about to end it all. And, you know, he doesn't expect me to respond since I haven't responded in so long, but he just wanted me to know how much our friendship meant to him and all that. And I fucking freaked out, immediately responded to that when I saw it, and then he once again just switched gears and was like talking about my day and his day and this and that, and once again just going down this small talk and then like interrogating me like, well, why haven't you been responding? So then I had to go like, oh, just haven't been checking Skype for the last few weeks, you know, just stuff going on. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, okay, yeah, I'm sure, and then getting upset and whatever. I recommended him getting like professional help, which he claimed he was doing and seeking, but it wasn't really working. The only thing that really helped him was our little chit-chats.
Okay, you're just, all he's saying here is, I'm like a pushover. He's a total pushover with no boundaries, who got dragged into some extended relationship with some suicidal schizo online because he's a pushover with no boundaries.
Back and forth. So obviously I kept that door open, and luckily the frequency of his messages was much slower, so over the course of a few months now, the messages were far less often. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but it still just felt miserable to keep this communication open. It felt like a hostage situation where like if I didn't respond, he might do something, and it was scary. And as this continued for quite some time, he'd make threats occasionally of harming himself.
John Sanchez super chatted $3. This is female behavior. This yapping.
That's facts. Thank you for $3.
He messaged about like, well, is it serious? Why is it serious? What do you see in her? That kind of thing. Like, it was all really alarming shit. And I'm not going to keep boring you with details here, but similar to how Pokimane didn't immediately fire that guy because she like felt bad for him or was like a little afraid of what might happen or whatever. It's easy to take a step back when you're not involved in it and just be like, oh, this is what you should have done. But when you're actually in one of these like really weird fucking situations on like a personal level here, it's just a little harder to do that. So I do understand that, but again, definitely the right course was firing that guy. In my situation, eventually what I did was I just stopped responding. If he did send me one of those messages, I would reply just telling him he needs professional help, and I won't talk further about these kind of things with him because I am not a professional. I'm not equipped to deal with that or or handle that.
Hey, you are such a fucking loser. Well, I thought this guy was married. Why is he doing dating shows?
Today we have a super
What's
exciting
the deal
episode.
here?
Charlie fell back into his virgin tendencies, so today we're trying to help him find love. We brought in 20 girls to speed dating. Welcome to
I thought he was married. Is he broken up with his wife? They broke up. I thought I saw wedding photos. I thought I saw a wedding photo at one point. I thought I saw that. To be fair, she wasn't attractive enough to be with like a billionaire or multimillionaire. You know, that's just facts. Sorry, hate to say it. Hate to say it. Hate to say it. Hate to be that guy. Hate to be that guy. He was also mad annoying. Sneeko was not out of pocket for putting him on blast. Who cares? Sneeko, critical girlfriend. Oh, is the clip not around? Okay, let's go. Didn't they have big fights on stream because he kept getting drunk buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Fucking bad luck so far.
That's absurd.
I don't want Pikachu's.
Trainer.
And the Eevee.
This is a terrible omen. These are resealed. I've actually been scammed.
Actually, really good so far. He needs a good foil to bring this home though. Meowth, that's right.
Yes! 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 That's like a $20,000 card! Yes! Yes!
PSA 10, 15,700.
Yes!
Get it sleep, Alex. Get it sleep.
Oh my god, my cock is throbbing again. Holy shit.
goodness.
Yes!
Bumping at his
Good! $15,000 pull right there, babe.
That's
15K. Snorlax first ed.
Paid for if this is a PSA 10. Let's
No. Stop. You're entering the danger zone. I'm very wet over here.
How could this not? This has got to be close to a 10.
Woo!
And this looks so fucking good. I'm not gonna say if it is. I don't know.
That's big.
Light hollow background cards are hard to
Thanks to the Prime, Biggie.
What do you mean he's very loud? He's stream. Wait. No, she's annoyed me immediately. What do you mean he's very loud? He's fucking streaming. Huh? Yeah, what'd you expect? Go somewhere else. Have you not got a big house? Go somewhere else.
Arrows,
fuck?
Miller, and the Prime, Desert, the Tier 1 Rugged, and Prime Moonbay.
I can hear you on my stream.
Can I just say?
Oh, she's streaming too.
Happy we actually pulled
Why
one.
are the same
Even just
no.
one.
I don't know.
I can't believe that.
We'll go in another room, to be honest.
Dude,
I'm glad you're here to join me for
that
that.
came from this pack.
You seemed just as excited as I was, so
No, you're very loud. I
Oh
don't
my
like
lord.
yeah, I'm
Dude,
glad
the
we
rest
shared
of
that
these
experience
packs
together.
don't
That was good.
It's all,
That was good.
gravy at this point.
it. Quiet down.
Whew.
We had one in the
How
box.
much did that cost you?
There you go.
So I got 5 packs at like 1,000 each. So that's a 3 times return on investment.
Yeah, but you're not selling it.
Yeah, but emotional investment as well, 3 times profit.
You're not
fucking
selling
kidding me?
it.
But the memories, the memories are priceless.
All right, let's
Yeah,
get it.
so you can't put a
If he pulls a Vaporeon in this,
you
I'll
can't
take
put a
it.
monetary value on the
If he
fun.
gets a
this one yours
Vaporeon
too?
in this, that's a
Yes. The next couple are mine.
What a fucking big pull, dude.
I can't believe
How many
that.
did you buy?
All right,
Tiana, this is a man's dojo.
How many did you buy?
we end stream. We
You
end
told me you were done buying cards.
I bought 5, and this was 2 weeks ago, way before I made that promise.
Oh, okay, I see what's going on. No, I see what's going on. This is just a gambling addiction. This is That's all this is. This is an addiction. This is a gambling addiction.
I can't believe
Tiana,
you on this.
your bad vibes are ruining my pulls.
I said nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right,
I
boys,
don't
we're getting
believe
rid of,
you
we're
on
opening the
this.
rest of the packs. We're Vaporeon hunting.
I can show you the timestamp.
This is
It
it.
was like 4 days ago, way before we. It was this afternoon. It was way before we even talked about stopping it.
Did you
Logan
really
Paul,
buy them this
fantastic.
afternoon?
Cuba, look at the fantastic center.
Really?
We're talking, Tiana. You can't put a.
Vaporeon.
See, that's what it's all about. That big old piece of shit.
Pidgeot going for. Just out of. I mean, again, Everyone knows it. Charlie knows it. At this point, this is all just gravy. 177.
But Charlie's anti-gambling. Yeah, he seems very anti-gambling.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
It really was.
Was it really?
It was really like 2
Was it
weeks ago.
really?
Yes.
Here's something I
Okay, you guys have no idea how much he has spent on cards in the past week. And if you knew, you
It's
would
somewhere
understand.
it's somewhere between $50 and $100.
For me, one thing specifically, I don't ever plan on selling them. So it's like, yeah, it has that value.
Thanks for the
but
10
it's
gift
just gonna be
subs.
something
Yeah, did you tell him about what we're doing on Friday and how much
Honey
you
over
spent
like,
on that?
Hey, want to see my PSA
Yeah,
10?
the Team Rocket box.
Did you tell him how much you spent on that?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, what did you
Explain the
I gave them a range of like $100 to $500 for that.
Well, then they shouldn't be over.
So it's somewhere in that ballpark.
You mean 25K?
Unless they know.
Oh, no, I didn't pay anywhere near that. I actually got a great deal.
I should
Thanks to
be
the Prime
studying right
McCullough.
Oh, he's lying through his
That you
teeth.
spent like 30K
Shatter.
on
now.
each.
Favorite content creators. Did they go to
I
school?
didn't spend that kind of money. I don't know why you're saying that. You're ruining my
Kids,
packs
listen to
now.
me. Hear my voice. If my voice is reaching you on the front.
You're ruining my packs now. Oh, I fucking hate this guy. I fucking hate this guy. Literally just sitting there lying through his teeth about his fucking gay little gambling addiction. Oh no, I only spent $100. I only spent $100. I'm just like you guys. I'm just like you guys. I would only spend $100 on this. 25K.
Front page of Twitch. Listen to me very carefully. School is for nerds.
Did you really though buy
Okay,
this a couple
look
weeks
at
ago?
me.
Yeah.
Look at my
Okay.
sub count. Did I
You're
dropped out
done
of
buying
community
them,
college.
right?
You can
Yeah.
Give it at least a week.
Parsect.
Yes, I'm streaming currently, and I walked away from my stream because you were being loud.
Mankey. Jigglypuff.
No, she's not still with him. They're broken up.
Well, now this pack is gonna be terrible.
Eevee.
You've ruined this pack for me. It's
Every
gone.
single pack he's pulled one.
There's nothing in here now.
Quarter pound of cheese. How about a Venona? How many we got left?
Too many negative vibes now. The pack heard you.
All right, Charlie. Critical. Last one. Here it is. If it's a Vaporeon, I give it 100 subs.
Hey, another hollow though. I'll take it.
We
It's a
both
shitty
made the
one,
same
but
noise.
fuck it.
Hollow,
Pidgeot's
he
shitty?
just pulled the non-hollow, and this goes
Yeah.
for
$1,625.
Well, it's
PSA
$1,600.
10, 1625.
Damn.
Charlie, I can say this with
Stupid.
confidence. If you ever decide
That's
to sell these,
still
you have a very
like
good
a
chance of
year's
making
worth of
a
car
lot money.
payments for me.
I know you are like me.
It's not about
Seeing
money,
YouTube
Tiana.
videos
That's like
doesn't
Yeah,
sound
we are.
like-
We're already logging
What are you
MoistCr1TiKaL's
happy
now.
about?
I'm
I
done.
got the Snorlax, which is
I'm done.
Keep the cards.
That's
Biggest
enough.
one in this pack or in this set?
It is.
What's he gonna do? Call me a pedophile?
Do you want me to help sleeving you right now? Sleeving these?
How many of these did you buy?
5.
I did. All right.
Thanks to the tier 1 Chars and the Prime Bird Baller and resub Mushroom, Posh, Sully, and Sneaky, and
Chat, how are
Sacred.
you?
Eevees and the Pikachus get hard trouble.
That is my card,
I
yeah.
like
Those
this
were my
so far,
packs.
chat.
I'm
We
done
have
now.
Quite a few left to go.
I said
We have
5.
some big
That
names
was
in there
5.
left to
Oh.
go.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to P4.
Well, I'm glad you came in here and shit on my parade, Tiana.
You're
I was
welcome.
having an incredible time. I pulled a Snorlax and you came in here and slapped me around in my own abode.
You're welcome.
So I'm glad you came
What
in
a
here.
fucking man-child.
You know I love you.
Thanks for the bits, 7.
Oh. 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 Oh, run that back. Run that back.
I pulled a Snorlax and you came in here and slapped me around in my own abode.
You're welcome.
So I'm glad you came in here for that.
You're welcome. You know I love you.
Thanks for the bits, 7.
Oh. Ooh. Jesus.
Bet you he didn't tell you guys about how he brought me chocolate ice cream.
I'm glad to hear that, Sonic. I'm glad everything worked.
I can't, dude. Oh. Oh. She has left him. She has left him.
You know I love you.
Thanks for the bits, 7.
Bet you he didn't tell you guys about how he brought me chocolate ice cream.
I'm glad to hear that, Sonic. I'm glad everything worked out,
It's
man.
very sweet.
Okay, so now I'm
Is
gonna.
that a small glass?
I
Dude.
don't have any big glasses left.
Oh, why didn't you get like 2 of those then?
I just didn't want to waste one. One's plenty.
Okay.
Thanks to the resub, Lycan, Rockio,
Alright, I'm
and
gonna go back to
Crazy and
Golden.
Cute. And the gift sub manly. Have fun. Well, that was fucking huge.
Jesus. Well, so have we got any more? They kept the rest of it off stream. What's this?
I don't participate in that meme, boo. No, not November.
Excuse me, that's not a meme. That is a way of life.
About to fail again if I pull.
Okay, that's not good, is it? Unfunny. Unfunny. Let's watch this video. This is just like...
There's a kick streamer whose name...
Like, who...
I've treated like Voldemort over the last year, so I've never bothered talking about her because that's the only thing she cares about is her name leaving people's lips no matter how negative it is. She exists for one sole purpose, to make everyone around her angry at her. It's in her delusional mind, the brain parasites tell her that that's a good thing. So I've just never bothered insulting her or making fun of her because that's like having sex with a cuck's wife. It's exactly what they want. But today she did something particularly heinous.
Right? No, alright. I was, you know why I wasn't going to? Because my shoes, my feet were getting hot. You should just jump in right now. I'm gonna jump in with my shoes on. Okay. Ready? Yeah, ready? Oh! Wait, what the fuck?
I love how she's somehow surprised that the lady jumped in after she spent the better part of 15 minutes trying to convince her to jump in, and even tried to bribe her with $20 to do so, and now all of a sudden she's fucking soy-facing, shocked that the lady actually did it. So, I went back and I watched most of the stream, which was... I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. Now, she's gone viral in the past for other degenerate activity, such as wearing painted-on pants at a gym, or doing a kidnapping children prank and faking a ton of shit around all of her other work to try and cause as much controversy as possible to farm clout off of it. But this one is a little bit different. So, the lady she had jump in is someone who apparently cannot swim. She said that she can only float and can't swim, and I initially thought that this was just more staged, phony baloney, garbage. But from a couple of the articles I read, they're reporting that the fire department in the area really did pull a woman out of that lake on this day. So it does seem like it's real.
Yeah, you wanna have a play date?
You want to jump in with me?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do it with you.
I'd rather go skinny dipping with you if I'm being honest.
Yeah, let's do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
They're all saying you're sexy and shit.
Really?
Yeah, they're all saying W woman, she's thick as fuck. You should jump in the water to find it for me.
Well, why don't you jump in with me?
I'll give you $20.
20 bucks?
Yeah, that's a W.
No,
that's a good deal.
jump in with me.
$20. Yeah, so you go in. You go and you try to find the skin.
You're gonna jump in with me.
I'll jump in after you.
We're jumping together.
The kick streamer is on a scavenger hunt trying to locate the final Dragon Ball so she can finally make a wish to be something other than the failure that she is, and she encounters this woman who's on the dock, and she tries to convince that woman to jump in the water to look for the tracker that she's trying to hunt. So she's putting on a fucking Shark Tank pitch here, saying that she'll give the lady $20 to jump in, and that, oh
wait, is this part of the Ice Poseidon scavenger hunt thing?
Follow once she jumps in, this and that, and then basically it's just trying to farm her for content so that way the stream can laugh at this lady jumping in the water when the streamer never had any plans of doing so. And their interaction lasts like 10-ish minutes before the lady jumps in the water, and it seems as though she's quite vulnerable. So it's extremely fucking sad to see her being exploited by this kick degenerate here, and put into a position that's life-threatening, because allegedly she can't swim, which is why the fire department eventually got called, which you do see on stream a bit later.
Did you see her ask? What? Oh,
You said it was okay.
You said you wanted to swim.
You told me to jump in.
I didn't tell you to jump in.
Yes, you did.
Just, you said, thank you guys. Wait, who is that? The fuck is going on?
I can't swim. I can only float.
She would literally die.
No, stop. Seriously, don't stop. Please, you're actually freaking me out. No, please.
You can really see the concern wash over each of their smiling faces as they're confronted with the very real possibility that that woman might drown and die because of the streamer's actions. I really wish the streamer had stuck with her OnlyFans as opposed to trying to pivot her career into just being an absolute insufferable piece of shit. I know her OnlyFans was flopping harder than Morbius, but by God, I mean, it might save lives if she had just stuck with it. The butterfly effect.
But she didn't pay her to jump in. She didn't give her the $20. She commented giving her $20 once, but they were already talking about jumping in before the $20 was even offered. The woman was like, let's go they were talking about going skinny dipping and shit, and the woman asked this Natalie person how old she was, being like, how old are you? And then the fucking Natalie person's like, I'm 17. And then she says, oh, you're too young for me then. Like, it was nothing to do with the fucking bribe. You could, at what point do we say, hey, listen, if you can't swim, don't jump in water? Like, what? Is that crazy? If you can't swim, don't jump in water. You're literally saying homeless people can't make decisions for themselves. Not all homeless people are like jumping into water like lemmings, dude. I don't know what to tell you. That homeless people are not lemmings. They don't just wander towards water. They have a brain rocking around inside that head. Then why are they homeless? I don't know that the woman was mentally ill. Is she any more mentally ill than any other homeless person? What makes you think she's mentally ill other than homeless? What are you basing that off of? Mentally ill how? What do you think she's got? What diagnosis are you putting on her? Okay, lacking common sense, whatever you think that means, is not a diagnosis. Almost all homeless people are mentally ill. Sure. A lot of homeless people are mentally ill. I agree. Was she mentally ill to such a degree that she cannot make her own decisions? What's your basis for that? She was promised $20. She was going to jump in before the $20 was like offhandedly mentioned at one point in the conversation. Let's go watch the full thing. I don't know if I've got it. She was... she said, Natalie... What do you mean? She was going to jump in. It was not for the $20. She not for the $20. They went over. People started speaking to her. These two met. They started speaking. And then she's like, oh, do you want to go skinny dipping? And then the woman immediately starts going over towards the fucking thing. It wasn't... They weren't dangling the fucking $20 over the pier and saying, jump for it, jump for it, jump for it. That wasn't happening, was it? One time, during the conversation, she goes, I'll give you $20. That didn't seem like a pivotal thing in this discussion whatsoever. It's irresponsible, absolutely. Ultimately, the streamer has the power there and is trying to get content. Why would she offer 20? Yes, she's trying to coax her in. Yes, no one's saying she's not trying to coax her into it. But the $20 was not pivotal, and it was not an agreement of, yes, I'm going to jump in for this $20. At one point during the conversation, Natalie says, I'll give you $20. That's not discussed by the other side really at all. That's not agreed upon. They're talking about skinny dipping, and the homeless woman starts going, oh, how old are you? And she says 17. And the homeless woman goes, oh, you're too young for me then. Okay, you're banned immediately. You are delusional. And you can't explain yourself. You've not been able to explain yourself any time I've pressed you on a belief. If you have to resort to coming up with some other motivation, some other intention, because you can't articulate your actual disagreement with the points being made, you're a retard. You are a retard. This video is called She Almost Killed Someone on Stream. That's the title of this video. I feel like that's an important part that's not being analysed by some chatters here. That simply is not... No, she did not almost kill someone. She did not. She did not almost kill someone, no. She didn't even try to kill anyone. She wasn't... None of her actions put someone in danger. What put someone in danger is the person jumping into the river, because they made the decision to throw themselves into a river. Okay, explain to me how this person almost killed someone. Never mind the fact that I'm pretty sure these people, did they not call the fire department to get this woman out of the river? Or did someone else just do it? It seems like it was probably them. She wouldn't have done it without her telling her. If I told you to jump off a cliff, did I kill you, Lynn? If I tell you to jump off a cliff and you do it, did I kill you? I'm not mentally ill. Where was the... Yeah, prove this woman's mentally ill. You expect everyone to walk around with Shinigami eyes for mental illness. Is that the expectation now? You have to know that... you have to... Homeless. So everyone has to know the homeless stats of mental illness, and what mental illnesses are most represented, and the level at which mental illness becomes too much for someone to make their own decisions. Or you just simply can never interact with homeless people ever, because they're just too... You can never interact with a single homeless person ever, because they are so susceptible to suggestion that you can literally make them kill themselves with words. That's what... Is that now the prescription? I don't care if you do it or don't, I just see the other side of the argument. No, you're not putting an argument forward. If you see an argument, describe it to me, because you're not making an actual argument. This, Natalie did not almost get someone killed. That is not what happened here. No, she's not 17, she was lying to the woman. Yeah, Natalie's actually a Death Note user. She's actually a Death Note user. She wrote in a Death Note, "Homeless bitch will jump off of this pier and die." After a short exchange on my Kick stream later today. For $20. Yeah. Manson got convicted of murder, presumably responsible at some point for telling people to do things. Yeah, maybe like if you had a group of people who all agreed to carry out a plan that you laid out, and there was documentation of you laying out a plan, specifically with a group of people, organized, not just going up to someone and going, "Hey, go kill that guy. Hey, go kill that guy." So don't worry, Cecil. How long have we been going for here? There's a whole hour and 30 minutes of me just ranting about how much I fucking hate MoistCr1TiKaL. So, you might be in the right place here. Kuihman jump into the lake, Kuihman jump into the lake, Kuihman jump into the lake, Kuihman jump into the lake. So, I call into debate.
Hellbent super chatted $2.53.
Sure.
Can I call into debate?
Sure. Okay. Just to be clear, though, you're not arguing that before we do this, you're not arguing that Natalie's a bad person. That's not the argument. The argument is she almost killed someone, okay? I just want to make sure that you're going to defend the stance. Natalie almost killed someone. Okay. 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 How's it going?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Alright, sweet. Okay, to be clear, you only clarified what your issue is like 2 minutes ago, that it's about essentially the title.
Yeah. Sure. Yes. I should have been clear about that. You're right.
Yeah, because I was actually going to start off by asking what you're taking issue with. So obviously, yeah, the title is, well, clickbait, let's just say that. But in terms of like the content of the video, so what do you disagree with Critical on? Like what characterization of the event?
The framing that she got almost killed someone. That's why I disagree with the framing. She almost killed someone.
Yeah. I think. Does he say that in the video itself, or is it just in the title?
I watched it on JSOC last night. I don't remember exactly what it says in the video. We're only 4 minutes in here.
Yeah, I caught like a little bit of it just now on your stream. So he's obviously he's talking about exploitation and all of that. And in the beginning of your stream today, you actually didn't mention the almost killed someone bit at all. So you were talking about how like...
Okay, yeah, I was saying... Okay, if you want to argue about that bit, sure, yeah. I was saying that basically you have to have a higher standard than simply exploiting some kind of vulnerable person. Because all the time, like, streams are built off of mentally ill people breaking down. So there has to be some higher bar than just exploiting vulnerable people for us to condemn something.
Define condemn, I guess. Like, if the argument was should she be deplatformed, then we can.
Well, to make I would say to make like a strong moral judgment on it is what I mean by condemn. Because if you haven't got a problem with the other things, then you need to come up with some trait or some action that's being taken here that distinguishes it from the other ones.
Okay. Would you be able to like think of where you would draw the line? Like, what do you think would be morally reprehensible to do on stream? But like, not illegal, obviously, not illegal.
What would be wrong to do on stream?
Morally, yeah.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah,
I really don't know. I don't know where I draw the line. Violence, yeah, violence is a good one. Causing harm to others directly is definitely a... Stuff like violence, but then that's not really exploiting a vulnerable person. I don't know. I don't know where you would draw the line. It's difficult.
Yeah, so what I would say is, and we actually like talked about this recently, you know, like the whole like Poppy and Xena stuff in RCC, because like all these debates about like essentially, are you a bad person? Are you not a bad person? Is this morally wrong or right? It's a bit pointless because everybody has like a different bar for it, right? So what I would say, well, just to be clear again, I don't think that Natalie tried to kill this woman or almost kill this woman. Like, I think we can agree on that. But I think there is an argument to use your phrase, and like condemn something as morally reprehensible, if essentially, well, what Natalie is doing is, well, she's trying to get a laugh at the expense of this woman, right? And I know that you'll say, like, okay, I don't have a problem with that, which is fine. But I imagine you can see how, like, other people, more soy people, one could say, would have a problem with that. And they would say, okay,
I think they'll say they have a problem with it, but I don't think they have a consistent belief on it. That's my point I'm making, right?
Right.
Is that they might say that that's a problem, but I think there are plenty of forms of exploitation that they would enjoy. I would say one thing I thought of, I think there's ways of keeping people in a situation that are probably wrong. I think if you're making threats, like saying, like let's say she said, oh, a homeless woman, if you don't stay on this stream or you don't throw yourself into the water, then something bad's going to happen to you. Then that's a problem. But we incentivize people to do stupid things all the time. So I just offering $20. I don't know if that's.
Let me ask you something. So why do you think this is content? Like what she was doing, like that interaction with the homeless woman. Like what was supposed to be entertaining about this?
Watching a homeless person act in an embarrassing way. Or saying anyone act in an embarrassing way, but obviously, that's the situation.
And also, obviously, you can say I'm a bit theory crafting here, but because like the woman's overweight, which by the way was hilarious, where she was like, "I can only float."
Sure, yeah.
A self-owned moments before death. But I presume that's why Natalie mentioned skinny dipping, because like it would be more embarrassing, obviously, like to see this overweight woman jump into a lake.
Yep.
So it's entertaining because it's essentially, because it's humiliating. Is essentially the goal is to laugh at the expense of this woman.
Sure. Yep.
So my point is, a lot of people, honestly, like personally, I would also say like, yeah, it's kind of a piece of shit thing to do. You could say like, no, it's fine. Like you can laugh at retards. The woman is free to make her own decisions. She didn't have to jump in, which I completely agree with. But so on the point where, this is not enough to like condemn something as morally reprehensible, I'd say it could be. And but if you can give me like a similar example where that standard is not being applied by Charlie or somebody similar, then I would agree with you about the hypocrisy, I guess.
Okay. I suppose, yeah, if you want about hypocrisy with Charlie specifically, sure, yeah. I mean, that was more an argument I was having with my chat about the exploitation thing, though, right?
Yeah, but they're stupid.
Sure, okay, sure. Fair enough. Well, okay, what I'd say is, I think what maybe you're getting at there, that feels more like the argument people make about, it feels like the bestiality argument, basically, where it's like, oh, well, I don't have an issue with someone killing animals, but I have an issue with them fucking them. And then you press something, it's like, why? And it's like, well, because one's like quite visceral and difficult to look at or difficult to hear about, and the other one I don't have to think about. So that's basically what it seems like is, we can sit there and watch Chris-Chan get tortured for 15, 20 years psychologically, and it's like, oh, we're all just having fun, but then we see this once, and because it's upfront and very close, and we see immediate feedback on the bad thing happening, all of a sudden it's a problem.
I agree with you that like if the same person kind of had no issue, I guess, enjoying the troll content around Chris-Chan and then had an issue with this, that would absolutely be hypocrisy. I think, the bestiality and like animal killing, I don't think it's a good enough analogy, because I think for me the distinction is that, killing animals to eat and to survive, it's kind of like partially a necessity. Obviously, you can argue that like in modern age you don't have to, but still, it has a utility.
But it's not.
But the point is like it has a utility.
Yeah, the utility is you enjoy meat more than you enjoy vegan substitutes, and some people enjoy fucking dogs more than enjoy fucking humans. So
basically, I would just say that like that the pyramid of needs, like the Maslow one, like the sustenance is going to be I think. Pretty sure it's above like sexual.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna get into another argument here.
Sorry, but so I think if for example Charlie was like happily laughing at the Chris-Chan shenanigans and then took an issue with this, then I would be like, yeah, this is absolutely a double standard. But otherwise, I would just say that, well, clearly this is like over the line for him, kind of deliberately laughing at the expense of this woman, whether she's mentally ill or not. Like if that's over the line for him, that's over the line for him. It won't necessarily be for you. But I guess like the question is, can you show that he hasn't had the same energy with something else?
Sure. I mean, I would have to find that hypocrisy for sure.
Yeah.
For
But
sure.
yeah,
But my issue with Charlie's video, like I say, my issue with Charlie's video specifically is she almost killed someone on stream. My issue with the people in my chat was they all enjoy lolcow content.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I still have an issue with this framing, regardless of any hypocrisy that Charlie may have.
I agree with you. I actually I wanted to call in after I listened to the initial bit that you said at the beginning of the stream. So again, this was before you mentioned the title. The title definitely is clickbait, or you can even say that, well, it's I don't want to say bad faith was. It's dishonest, right? The title, it's it's to scandalize whatever. That's not accurate. I think we can all agree. But in the beginning of the stream, it just sounded to me more like you took an issue of him sewing out over this incident overall. And you were like, I beg for you to explain to me why basically this is bad, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I was absolutely I was picking arguments there.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing. But
okay.
That's kind of it. But I guess one point that I would make, I think, I mean, you hate a lot of people and never change. I love it. But I think sometimes you might be a little bit blinded by the hate that you really want to disagree with every single take the person has. And I mean, I'm not saying that you saying, oh, most critical is soy and gay is an incorrect take. It's just this is a personal preference. But I feel like on a couple occasions, I think you've given takes where it's less that you genuinely disagree. For example, in this case, that it's morally reprehensible, but you just really want to disagree with critical.
Is that
the other?
Yeah. Oh, another example. Yeah, that's what I was about to ask for. So.
Yeah, the other example was the Xena and Poppy thing when, because obviously who are you going over? I mean, it was the Stardust or something that, and overall, obviously, I agree with your take. We've spoken about this as well, but then. Because you were kind of on a roll with just describing how bullshit a lot of it is, most of it is. Then we got to the point of where Poppy threatened to sue Fawn, and you're like, yeah, fuck it, I have no issue with it. This is they're not biologically related. They're they're an adult. Fuck it. I was like, well, do you really believe that that's kind of a normal thing to do with an adopted kid that you've raised since they were
no, I don't think I don't think
yeah.
anything about that situation is normal. I think that if your adopted kid who you raised for 24 years and then they leaves the house and then starts making hugely defamatory claims about you, I mean, how else do I want you to settle that other than through the legal system?
Well, I actually have a take on that. I think the shittiest person in that whole situation is actually Melina.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I think, ideally you would want them to settle it privately because they are, family.
Well, I mean, I guess the issue here is that this kid's estranged now, right? That's the way I'm approaching it. If the kid's estranged, they're not patching things up. It's done. The best way to handle that is through the legal system. You would.
I think the point that I'm trying to make, it's not even that I'm well, first of all, sure, they're within their legal right to do that, to threaten or follow through with it. And it's just and I could be wrong because it's just my interpretation. Because when you said that, they're yeah, obviously, this is fine. I take no issue with it. It felt to me that you were saying it not because that's what you kind of genuinely believe in, more because you were just on a roll with explaining how bizarre and stupid everything.
I'm pretty sure the first thing I saw from Poppy and Xeno was, I think I saw their response before I saw basically anything else. And I think even when I saw that, I was defending the idea of them suing their kid, I think. So I don't think it came up from just, I could be wrong, but I would say, I would defend that. I would say, yeah. I mean, use the legal
Yeah,
system.
that's fair. Like, because like I wouldn't want to debate that point. Like, I think obviously they are within their legal rights to do so. I would say it's a shitty thing to do, but I think not a single person has disagreed that Poppy and Zena are pieces of shit. So. But no, that's kind of all I wanted to say. But by the way, how aware are you of this Natalie person?
Not at all. This is the first time I've really heard of her. Was last night.
Dude, I think that is the rabbit hole you should go down because
I heard she did some shit and like what was she? She was like pedo baiting in a trailer park or something.
She did pedo baiting. She did like she like painted leggings on her basically like bare ass or something, and went to the gym and was like trying to bait men to look at her weird. Do you remember
Don't
like there was like a
quack super chatted
$10 last year
Move
or
on,
something
please.
where
This
like
is
a woman tried to
painful.
cancel a guy at the gym for like staring at her even though he was just like looking when she would when she was done with it. So Natalie's stuff was like after that, and essentially she was like trying to instigate a scenario in which somebody would look at her weird, and she was like filming, but all she got was basically people like, because she would approach men and be like, "Can you spot me for the squats?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay," and then they explaining how to do it. And she's clearly like baiting for reaction. Other stuff, yeah. So she's had a bunch of stuff with homeless people, like because she and her friends, I believe, rented like a van and put a tub in it, but it was actually cold water. It wasn't a hot tub, and so they paid homeless people to like jump in with them. To be fair, could have been just random people. Not necessarily homeless, but I'm pretty sure they're like pay a homeless person to do something stupid and let's laugh at them. That's like her shtick. Then they I believe had, because she was like with other people on that stream, so she and her friends were discussing on stream the plan to go to a pet shop and buy like fish and put them in the quote unquote hot tub, but like the viewers like called the whatever pet store and warned them about it, so it didn't happen. So she's just like, yeah, she's a general menace. But I think it's kind of a fascinating rabbit hole to go
I'm sure
down.
she's a total menace, doing whatever she can for
I'm
views.
only explaining this to you because I believe like you don't have much lined up, so I think that could be potentially interesting.
Because Critical brings all that up in this video, and it's like he's trying to say like, oh yeah, she's such a terrible person. I can't believe she would do public nudity. It's like, bro, come on.
Oh, that's not the problem. The public nudity is not the problem. It's the trying to bait somebody into looking like that's the problem. But I mean, I do think she's a piece of shit. But I'm like bringing it up because I think it could be fun content for you to watch and stream after you're done hating on Charlie.
All right.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
No problem.
Have a good stream.
Catch you later.
Bye-bye.
You guys are so mean. The fuck? You call it this kind of audience? I'm nice whenever people come on. I don't know why you've got such a problem. Do you remember how long I listened to Ico for? Not say hell, but saying like Ico. But you guys don't remember how long I spoke to Ico for, talking to her about Beckett? You guys were going crazy during that. You guys were losing it. Anyway. Should we keep watching this MoistCr1TiKaL video? I feel like we've had the whole argument now. Let's run it back. Let's watch the full video, okay?
There's a kick streamer whose name I've treated like Voldemort over the last year, so I've never bothered talking about her because that's the only thing she cares about is her name leaving people's...
Chat, what's the content about? Basically, I've just been hating MoistCr1TiKaL for the last hour and a half. And now we're watching this video. And then Hellbent came on to argue about whether it's fucked up that this little Natalie streamer whore said she was going to pay this homeless woman $20 to jump into this river. And the homeless woman couldn't swim and did it anyway. And then they had to call the fire department to get her out.
There's a kick streamer whose name
And MoistCr1TiKaL made a video talking about how it's so terrible. And how she literally says in the title, she almost killed someone. She did not almost kill someone. A homeless lady almost killed herself. And the only reason... Well, the fire department... I'll say the fire department was called. The fire department was called. I don't know if it was by them. But the fire department pulled her out. It's bad to give homeless people jobs now. It was irresponsible. It was an irresponsible thing to do. Highly. Did she almost kill someone? No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. She didn't almost kill someone. It's not like a situation where they're doing like a YouTube prank where someone's holding like what was it? How did that one? It was a guy or a girl that died. They were like holding like a book in front of their chest and the other one shot them for like a YouTube prank. Yeah, the girlfriend shot the boyfriend, yeah. It's not like that. It ain't like that. It's not a situation. It's not. We're not even talking about like. We're not even talking about like Logan Paul starting a riot at VidCon levels of almost killing someone here. We're not even talking about that. At Kuihman, that was messed up how you banned that guy. Typing in the exact same way as the guy I just banned. That's epic. Look, now he's removed the hyphen. No, it's not. Bro, put on the glasses with the fake nose and moustache. Holding a newspaper with eye holes cut. Free, bro. Anyway, let's get back to this most critical video.
I've treated like Voldemort over the last year, so I've never bothered talking about her because that's the only thing she cares about is her name leaving people's lips no matter how negative it is. She exists for one sole purpose, to make everyone around her angry at her. It's in her delusional mind, the brain parasites tell her that that's a good thing. So I've just never bothered insulting her or making fun of her because that's like having sex with a cuck's wife. It's exactly what they want. But today she did something particularly heinous.
Right? No, alright. I wasn't going to because my shoes might be rigged. You should just jump in right now. I'm gonna jump in with my shoes on. Okay, ready? Yeah, ready? Oh! Wait, what the fuck?
I love how she's somehow surprised
like
that the lady
she's so
jumped in
retarded, like... Why did she dive in like that? There was no reason for her to... She could have literally... This woman said go skinny dipping. Could she not have literally just, like... dipped in from the edge? And then have still been right next to the pier. And they probably could have even pulled her up. The lady isn't mentally stable. Okay, you can say the lady isn't mentally stable. How are you meant to diagnose someone on the spot and know how much decision making they're capable of? This is we're gonna have the same conversation like so many times.
Because my shoes might be rigged. You should just jump in right now. I'm gonna jump in with my shoes on.
This is a full-grown adult.
Oh!
The dive goes hard. Dude, Hong Kong. No, okay, you're missing the issue, but it's okay. I'll fill you in. If she didn't, then yeah, she's retarded for not helping and walking away instead of getting a life raft. They don't just walk away. She goes and gets other people. I think they call the fire department because the fire department come and fish her out. She doesn't just walk away. That's not even the argument, I don't think.
Wait, what the fuck?
I love how she's somehow surprised that the lady jumped in after she spent the better part of 15 minutes trying to convince her to jump in and even tried to bribe her with $20 to do so. And now all of a sudden she's fucking soy-facing, shocked that the lady actually did it. So I went back and I watched most of the stream, which was, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. Now she's gone viral in the past for other degenerate activity, such as wearing painted on pants at a gym or doing a kidnapping children prank.
Do they call the fire department when they're gone? I haven't seen this much video. I know the fire department got called and fished her out. I know that's because that's in the news stories.
But this one is a little bit...
Exactly. It's like, dude, how are you even supposed to know? Why would Natalie think, oh yeah, this homeless woman's gonna dive like 5 fucking meters, fucking 10 meters away from this pier?
Hellbent super chatted $2.53. Caught up on wasted $10 lol.
Thank you for the $1.99 Hellbent.
Bit different. So the lady she had jump in is someone who apparently cannot swim. She said that she can only float and can't swim, and I initially thought that this was just more staged, phony baloney, garbage. But from a couple of the articles I read, they're reporting that the fire department in the area really did pull a woman out of that lake on this day. So it does seem like it's real.
Yeah, you wanna have a play date?
You want to jump in with me?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do it with you.
I'd rather go skinny dipping with you if I'm being honest.
Yeah, let's do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
they're all saying you're sexy and shit.
Really?
Yeah, they're all saying W woman, she's thick as fuck. You should jump in the water to find it for me.
Well, why don't you jump in with me?
I'll give you $20. $20? Yeah, that's a W.
No,
that's a good deal. $20. Yeah, so you go and you try to find the skin. I'll jump in after you.
We're jumping together.
The Kick streamer is on a scavenger hunt trying to locate the final Dragon Ball so she can finally make a wish to be something other than the failure that she is, and she encounters this woman who's on the dock, and she tries to convince that woman to jump in the water to look for the tracker that she's trying to hunt. So she's putting on a fucking Shark Tank pitch here, saying that she'll give the lady $20 to jump in, and that, oh, she'll follow once she jumps in, this and that, and then basically is just trying to farm her for content so that way the stream can laugh at this lady jumping in the water when the streamer never had any plans of doing so. And their interaction lasts like 10-ish minutes before the lady jumps in the water, and it seems as though she's quite vulnerable. So it's extremely fucking sad to see her being exploited by this kick degenerate here, and put into a position that's life-threatening, because allegedly she can't swim, which is why the fire department eventually got called, which you do see on stream a bit later.
Did you see her ask? What?
So wait, so who calls the fire department? That's important.
It's okay. You said you wanted to swim. You told me to jump in. I didn't tell you to jump
in. If they didn't help...
Ben?
Yeah. So it's not even clean up after themselves, you know?
I can't swim. I can only float.
She literally died.
No, stop. Seriously, don't stop.
No, Stylo, she can't swim. She can only float, apparently.
Please, you're actually freaking me out. No, please.
You can really see the concern wash over each of their smiling faces as they're confronted with the very real possibility that that woman might drown and die because of the streamer's actions. I really wish this streamer had stuck with her OnlyFans as opposed to trying to pivot her career into just being an absolute insufferable piece of shit. I know her OnlyFans was flopping harder than Morbius, but by God, I mean, it might save lives if she had just stuck with it. The butterfly effect you can never fully comprehend until it's too late. So anyway, the woman that she has prodded into jumping in the water is now saying that she can't swim, and they're laughing about it because she might die, and to them that's hilarious. They can't stop giggling like someone's over there tickling their armpits. It's craziness. Like, the dude comes over and he's like, she might die. Fucking the camera goober over here is so excited. Like, he's like zooming in, trying to get like the last moments of like the air that she'll get from the surface before she goes under, praying that maybe this is the moment that he's able to bond close enough to the streamer where she might give him a peck on the cheek and thank him for his service. Like, she is...
Like, why are you throwing in all this retarded shit like that? Oh, they're simping. They're simping too. Okay, dude. No, I don't think it's about them fucking simping. They're probably making fucking paper on Kick.
Surrounded by these henchmen that orbit her to swarm her like mosquitoes on a pile of dog shit. And this is something that was prevalent throughout the entire stream. They're literally just there to try and have sex with her is what it seems like. No one enjoys being around her. They don't...
Like, that's not what's happening here. Obviously, is it? It's all fucking clout exchanges. What?
Like her company, from what I can tell.
Oh, yeah, we have like phones and stuff, so that would freaking suck.
Would you be able to hold this for 1 minute? Is it because your friend gonna call us him?
What is with this weird fucking, like, sexual dynamic insertion here?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Dude, they're saying you're alpha male. You're not a simp. Yes, they are. They're saying alpha. Everybody's saying alpha male, alpha male.
Sorry to say, brother, but I've got to diagnose you with a very severe case of simp. You might not like it, but it's a tough pill to swallow. That is literally what you are. Textbook definition. All of the insects that are around her. Of dweebs. They just read assistance provided.
Oh, this is bad.
They just read chat messages and laughed and were, help, time to bounce. Everyone else is, once they've outlived their usefulness, she doesn't care about them, which is...
I did it, let's go!
Nah, this of faking shit. So I thought...
Oh, okay, they don't call the fire department, but they see the fire department. Okay, that's where I got.
Oh, she's drowning in the lake!
God, there's a fire truck!
Yeah, if they didn't even call anyone, that's the fucked up part, I'd say. That's the fucked up part. Is not calling anyone. That is the fucked up part, 100%. But still, that's not almost killing someone. That's still not almost killing someone. But absolutely not calling anyone, not doing anything to get her out. Yeah, that is.
This is bad. Like I said, I was initially skeptical when I saw this clip blowing up on Twitter because she has a history of faking shit. So I thought this might be another scripted thing just to get some like rage clicks to her stream, which I always think is a dumb fucking business decision. But when I went back and watched all of this happen as it unfolded on the stream, this does seem very real because that fire truck does show up at like a very quick time. Unfathomable to me.
She's like mentally ill. Does she just like roam around the area?
Not much about that. All she cares about is fucking awful streams. That's it. So I bet she is smiling right now. And in fact, I know she is because I was watching her stream as I was making this video. She's live again. She doesn't care. This is a good thing for her. I think she's seeing more viewers than she was previously, so I bet she thinks this whole thing was absolutely fucking worth it. Because she's not going to face any repercussions for this. It doesn't seem like anything's going to come from it, like on a legal side or criminal side or anything like that. So to her, this was just a smart play. Almost killing a woman on Kick for some extra viewers. So yeah.
But she didn't almost kill her. That's not what happened. Do you remember that case where a girlfriend convinced her boyfriend to kill himself? And he did. Lynn, thank you so much for bringing it up, so I know you're actually, like, functionally retarded. Because the reason that girl got convicted was not because she told him to kill himself. It's because she spent months working him down and then giving him specific instructions about how to kill himself, and I believe even provided some of the stuff for him. So thank you. Thank you, Lynn. I now know to discount anything you say in chat ever again. Thank you. Yes, she did do the trailer park pedo stuff. We might watch that. And even then, she shouldn't have been convicted. That's probably true, yeah. I probably agree with that. I probably would have disagreed, because in a pro-man fervor, maybe like back when it happened. But no, she probably shouldn't have been convicted for that, frankly. We need some personal responsibility, okay? You can't just... Someone tells you to do something. You don't have to do it. Now, if someone starts threatening you, coercing you, we can have a conversation. But someone just says, hey, you should do this thing. You should really do this thing. I think it'd be a good idea to do this thing. I think you should do this thing. Sorry, just don't do it. It was the fact he told him to get back in the truck and go with it after he expressed he was scared. But you could interpret, like, what is the reasoning for that ruling? 1 minute, let's pull this up. I'm interested now. Girl convicted telling boyfriend to suicide. Michelle Carter. Wikipedia. Death of Conrad Roy. Here we go. Involuntary manslaughter trial in Massachusetts, colloquially known as the texting suicide case. It involved scores of text messages. Okay. She wanted Roy dead, and that her words coerced him to kill himself. May's decision rested chiefly on Carter's final phone call, in which she ordered a terrified Roy to go back inside his truck as it filled with carbon monoxide. Michelle Carter was indicted on February 4th, 2015, and arraigned the following day in New Bedford Juvenile Court in Massachusetts, charged of involuntary manslaughter. The grand jury found enough to charge her with wantonly and recklessly assisting the suicide. 17 at the time, court indicted her as a youth offender rather than juvenile, meaning she could be sentenced as an adult. In June 2015, a district court... I don't know if I even agree... Like, really? Sentenced as an adult? That seems crazy. Like, 17-year-old girl? Like, in a case like this, with like a stressful emotional relationship. I've seen the text before. But I care about why the court does... honk honk. You can have whatever emotional response you want to the texts. It's about whether it should be something that is acted upon as a charge, as involuntary manslaughter. June 2015, district court judge denied a motion to remove Bristol County District Attorney's Office from the prosecution. Okay. Moved because he's first cousin to Roy's grandmother. Have we already hand over the case? July 1st. Cool. There's probable cause to send manslaughter indictment. He stated that prior to his ruling, it was Carter's phone calls with Roy when he was in the truck gassing himself, rather than the preceding text messages that caused him to go through with killing himself. Moist found that Roy had broken the chain of self-causation towards his suicide when he exited the truck. Carter urged Roy to return to his truck. It was her wanton, reckless encouragement that caused his death. I guess, what was the nature of the encouragement, though? Like, what was she saying? It's not about the texts. It's not about the texts. It's about the phone call. It specifically says it's not about the texts. It was Carter's phone calls with Roy when he was in his truck gassing himself, as described by Carter's text to friends, rather than the preceding text messages. I don't care because the legal decision wasn't made based on the texts. The phone call was why the legal decision was made, and that's what we're arguing about. So I don't care about the texts because that wasn't part of his that wasn't what the judge relied on for the decision. Okay, you can say she was telling him blah 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 blah. You don't know. You're just saying stuff. You're just saying shit. It's not very helpful. Conrad Roy phone call. I wonder if this was ever made public. Probably not, right? See, it's called the texting suicide case. And all the articles are showing all the texts, but that's not... it doesn't seem like that it was... He's saying that it was a chain of self-causation with the texts, it was still a chain of self-causation, but that chain was broken when he exited the car, and that it was her phone calls with him while he was in the car that are considered, or while he was in the garage or whatever, that are considered to be the reason why she's liable. So, I mean, I don't even know if we know what was in these phone calls. Where's, we must be able to find out, right? From the case files. Yeah. There must be a description. Okay, let's pull up this PDF. Let's read it. Let's read it. Fuck it. I've got nothing else to do. I've got nothing else to do. Involuntary manslaughter was not unconstitutionally vague as applied because it gave notice he might be so charged for reckless verbal. Don't really know what you're trying to express there, or what that relevance it's supposed to have. Let's read this. On July 12th, Roy drove his truck to a secluded parking lot where he was found dead the next day, killed by carbon monoxide poisoning. During ensuing investigation, text message records showed Roy and Carter, who met in 2012, formed a romantic relationship, had frequently discussed Roy's suicidal thoughts, history of mental health difficulty, and previous suicide attempts. While Carter initially dissuaded Roy from acting on these thoughts, she eventually changed course, regularly encouraging him to commit suicide and helping him devise a method he would use. So that even, like, yeah, I think the reason why the texts, yeah, so, okay, right. Because he brought it up first, it's a chain of self-causation. When he exits the car, he stops being liable. And when she encourages him to get back in, yeah. Okay. I'm with this right now. Okay. Now explain to me what level those words have to rise to for it to be considered liable. No, you're saying, okay. No, Jade, you're saying something completely different and very dumb. Exactly, 100. She would also flirt with him. That was not the point. They were already friends. They were friends. He was expressing suicidal ideation to her first, in depth, over an extended period of time. That's what this sounds like. After a long time, she broke down. So all those texts she sent him saying, kill yourself, all those, yeah, they were like dating us, I think. All those mean nothing. They mean literally nothing. He's still liable for his own suicide with all those texts. It's the phone calls. Okay, you don't understand what's going on. You're not making a statement on the legal case here. If no one has an actually educated opinion on the decision here, please stop trying to correct me and stop trying to say things that you think change or explain it when you don't actually understand what explains it. Okay, no one cares if she's mental. Obviously, she's mental. No one thinks she's not mental. Both these people seem mental. One of them killed themselves. How many times do I have to say we're talking about the legal case? Holy fuck. Carter moved to dismiss the indictment. Wait, arguing that as a matter of law, words alone about a physical act could not sustain a manslaughter charge. The juvenile court denied the motion on appeal. The Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court affirmed. Justice Cordy, writing for a unanimous court, rejected the argument that verbally encouraging someone to commit suicide cannot constitute the wanton or reckless conduct required for a manslaughter conviction. He highlighted the coercive quality of Carter's encouragement given the circumstances, namely the intimate relationship between the two, the defendant's virtual presence at the time of suicide, the previous constant pressure the defendant put on the victim, as the evidence overbore the victim's willpower. Now, this is saying the opposite to the Wikipedia page. This is saying that all the other stuff does matter. Wait, oh, no, wait. Wait, I think this is why the manslaughter charge was sustained. I think this is about the Supreme Court decision here. The case thus, yeah, no, okay. This is why the charge was sustained. This isn't about the conviction. Okay, got you. The case thus proceeded to trial, where Carter waived her right to a jury. Okay. According to the prosecution, Carter had preyed on Roy's vulnerable mental state through callous text messages. Yeah, that's the prosecution argument. So where's the conviction? That's what I want. I can understand what the lawyer's argument is going to be here. I want to know what the decision was. Oh wait, here we go. Here's about the phone conversations. Prosecution further demonstrated that around the time Roy was committing suicide, he and Carter shared 2 lengthy phone conversations. Carter later texted her friend to explain that Roy called her after exiting the truck because he was scared. In response, Carter told him to get back in, which he did. An expert testified it took approximately 20 minutes of exposure for Roy to die of carbon monoxide poisoning, and Carter told friends that she had listened over the phone as he died. Afterwards, Carter's text messages revealed she claimed to be unaware of Roy's plans to commit suicide, but later she told her friend she helped ease him into it and his death is my fault. Yeah, that's going to fuck you, innit? Following the prosecution case, Judge Monist denied the defense's motion for a directed verdict. There was no law prohibiting the encouragement of suicide. Suicide, not a homicide. Judge Monist found Carter guilty. Although he did not issue a written opinion supporting this decision, he did summarize his rationale in a verbal statement given at the time of the verdict. Judge Monist explained that prosecutors had proved beyond reasonable doubt Carter's word of encouragement in the weeks leading up to suicide were wanton or reckless, but failed to prove that this conduct caused Roy's death. So yeah, okay, in his view, Roy's research, preparation, and expressed desire to commit suicide made it clear that Carter's support at the time did not cause his death. So I think, honestly, if you apply these principles to this, she raises it first, but this woman is like all in. But she didn't get off. What do you mean she got off? They didn't get off. She didn't get off. Well, I'm trying to be honest, Spugger, I'm using this as almost a guide for figuring out my own thoughts on where the responsibility here lies. Sorry. Because I don't think you should get, I don't think it is your fault. If you just tell someone to jump off a cliff, that's obviously not your fault if they do it. So I am genuinely just interested in how this judge worked through it. But they didn't try and get her off. Dude, come on, be serious. Dude, you're like, read on it, you're so schizophrenic. Just engage reasonably. This judge does not care about whether this little white lady gets off. And if he did want her to get off, he simply wouldn't have sentenced her. Anyway, what will we read? Where are we up to? In his view, Roy's research preparation expressed desire to commit suicide, made it clear that Carter's support at the time did not cause his death. However, judgment is reserved when Roy exited the truck, abandoned his suicide attempt. He broke that chain of self-causation. Given Carter's knowledge of Roy's fears and the danger posed by the toxic environment within the truck, Judge Monist found Carter's instruction to get back in the truck at Roy's crucial moment of equivocation to be wanton and reckless conduct. Carter's instruction created a life-threatening risk for Roy by putting him in that toxic environment. Thus imposed on Carter a duty to take reasonable steps to alleviate that risk. Yeah, okay, so this part, yeah. I think you could apply this basically wholesale to this other case. I think this makes so much sense. I think this judge nailed this. This is so based. Because the issue is that she then didn't... in that situation where you know someone's in a fucking car suffocating, you should probably be taking steps to alleviate the risk. I think you do if it comes about, if the danger comes about of your own instructions, Stylo, right? I think you're kind of accepting that risk. When you give someone an instruction to do something, you don't necessarily accept the outcome, but if the situation becomes dangerous, you've accepted responsibility for it.
I remember this case in San Francisco where a woman was threatening to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge and police were blocking traffic. People got out of their cars and were shouting jump. They were mad and she did. No one was charged, lol.
Well, yeah, exactly. No one should be charged for that. Exactly. Exactly. I agree with that. 100%, Jimmy. Yeah, that's a base decision. No one should get charged. Some retards blocking traffic by saying they're going to kill themselves? Absolutely, you should jump out and shout, jump. That's fucked. I disagree. What's fucked is holding up traffic because you're having a fucking bad day, okay? Exactly, yeah, okay. Now it changes. OSHA was blocking traffic, never mind. Glad you're on the same page here. Okay. Yeah, I think I agree with this. I think this judge decision was based. I think this was epic. Carter's actions and also her failure to act where she had a self-created duty. Exactly. Yeah, dude. I could be a judge. I could be a judge. I really could. I would be the best fucking judge. I hadn't even read that line yet. I hadn't even read that line yet. Well, the basis for the duty is that she's given the order to take the dangerous action. See, the sad thing about this case is, though, that does mean that Charlie would probably not get sued for defamation for this video. That's unfortunate. That homeless lady wasn't blocking traffic, though. Listen, I hope being homeless is a provocation. 1 second, I'm backing up. The rationale has no legal basis. Well, it's... the basis is wanton and reckless conduct that led to a death. That's involuntary manslaughter, right? It might be I mean, I would say it's an edge case. It's an edge case, but I don't think it's really a stretch. I think I think the principle's fine here. Thank you for the $5.
Satius super chatted $5, ice cream.
Yeah, I can definitely see like similar cases. Like it feels like there's a lot going on here in this decision. Well, there's not actually there's not really, because the texts and all that shit, that's all totally fucking irrelevant. That's all just like media shit. Everyone thinks those texts matter because they've been ran in articles, but the texts are actually totally irrelevant to this. It seems like it's once he's gotten out of that car, she tells him to get back in. He's pulled back, so it's no longer his idea to kill himself. It's no longer something he's preparing to do. He's trying to stop doing it. She says, no, you should do it. And then does not help him. I don't think so. I don't think the texts matter. Do they? I don't think the texts matter. Let's have a look. Let's read more of it. Judge Moses' omission-based theory unnecessarily complicated the decision. Guilty verdict could have been better justified by a simpler conduct-based theory. Carter's constant pressuring and the final command to get back in overwhelmed Roy's free will, such that she was responsible for his getting back into the truck. Grounding the decision in his reasoning would have made it clear that there is a high threshold for imposing criminal liability on the encouragement of suicide, curtailing free speech for this. I don't know I agree with this. No, I don't think I agree with this. This seems retarded. This guy analyzing this seems dumb. This Harvard Law Review idiot. The attachment of criminal liability to Carter for a failure to act is a surprising departure from the SJC's guidance. In response to Carter's crucial appeal, the SJC had already stated that a finder of fact could legally find Carter's affirmative conduct to be wanton or reckless such that she could be liable for involuntary manslaughter. Indeed, the court specifically mentioned this in its opinion. The indictment was returned on the basis of the defendant's wanton or reckless conduct rather than a failure to act. Nevertheless, Judge Manager's statements indicate his finding of guilt rested instead on Carter's failure to act with duty to alleviate the life-threatening risk that arose from in the truck. It's possible that the use of omission liability was an attempt to narrow down the applicability of the decision, but the imposition of such a duty to rescue presupposes that Carter's instruction caused Roy to get into the truck to create that risk in the first place. Put differently, if Carter purposely put Roy into the truck and he was then killed by toxic fumes inside, then there would seemingly be no need to resort to emission liability. Judge Moniz' theory thus implausibly rests Carter's culpability on her failure to act. There's common sense in a Harvard Law Review paper. You're saying common sense? Really? Is this what academics are like? For real? I thought we can do better than that, no? We can do better than that. It has a legal meaning. Common sense, legal meaning. United States. Common sense and legal causation. To establish liability in criminal or private law, it must usually be shown that the relevant harm would not have occurred but for the defendant's conduct. Common sense and the premise of an emission-based theory suggests that Carter's guilt. Actually, okay, yeah, okay, I see what's being said here now. I get it. Okay, that has a way different meaning to how I was taking it. So that's saying, look, that's just saying that he wouldn't have taken the actions without her encouragement, and the emission-based theory is in she didn't try to rescue him. Okay. Just that Carter's guilt actually stems from her putting him into a toxic environment. The unsustainability of emission liability here is reinforced by a key difference between this case and the traditional case of emission liability. Whereas a typical victim in an emission case is helpless as a result of the defendant's actions, the victim here ostensibly could have saved himself from the risk created by the defendant, but did not. The emission-based theory does nothing to explain why Carter's failure to seek help was an intervening cause warranting criminal liability. Despite Roy's final decision to get back in the truck and stay there, it also seems to suggest, oddly, that Carter would not be liable. Roy had chosen an instantaneous method of committing suicide. I would even almost. I feel like that does factor in. But in a way, that does kind of factor in. I don't know. I just think I put the responsibility higher. If you do have an opportunity to act, I don't know. A more coherent approach would have drawn on a simpler conduct-based theory. Carter's conduct, namely her constant pressuring, definitive command to get back in the truck. Definitive command. That's an okay. Yeah. All right. See, this is sort of what I came in to look for, wasn't it? Was what she said on the phone. But yeah, if it's definitive commands, overbearing and overwhelming. Maybe this judge did fuck this up. Carter calls Roy to get into the truck, but unlike an emission theory, the analysis ends there. It is thus simpler, but achieves the same result. It also explains why Carter's conduct renders her liable despite Roy's actions towards the same end. His acts were not his own in that moment. Finally, this theory leads to consistent results across different fact patterns. The defendant who overwhelmed a victim's will and caused the victim to commit suicide would be liable regardless of the particular suicide method used. Okay. This conduct-based theory's most important consequence, however, is the high and clear bar it sets for criminalization of the encouragement of suicide. Much of the criticism of the Carter verdict centered on the concern that it criminalizes speech by shoehorning it into a crime meant to prohibit acts of physical, rather than verbal, violence. Critics accordingly view the decision as a dramatic expansion of criminal liability that may chill family conversations about assisted suicide, or over-criminalize bullying. These concerns make sense as a reaction to an emission-based theory, which, despite Judge Moniz' apparent attempt to limit liability, articulates no definite standard to determine when a duty to act is created or to evaluate the scope of that duty. Well, I agree that seems like a decision with the Mona's guy's decision, but I don't think that's an inherent issue with this omission theory, because couldn't you just say that it's within a reasonable set of actions or some shit like that? She failed to act. But they do that in law all the time. That doesn't seem like that's a very good criticism of using the omission-based theory. It just seems like a criticism of Moses' decision. Oh, yeah, articulates, no, yeah, he's not. No, okay, no. You said that's his point. I have realized what his point is, but it's not what you're telling me. When considered as a reaction to the theory that Carter's pattern of conduct overrode Roy's will. No, I didn't see a comment. Overrode Roy's will, however, it was clear that critics' concerns are exaggerated. Recall the facts SJC pointed to in holding that, as a matter of law, Carter's speech could be wanton or reckless conduct. Carter was in an intimate relationship with Roy. She was virtually present at the time of his suicide, and she had applied constant pressure over the course of weeks.
Stafrex super chatted $9.99. Teresa, important distinction in the justice system in that, remember, this is not a just system of justice, but actually merely system of justice. It's a human system, not perfect, nor should be.
Thank you for the 999, Topher. When consider reaction, the theory of cause. Where are we? Virtually present, all while knowing of his mental state. According to the SJC, this collection of extreme circumstances, not verbal encouragement alone, permitted a reasonable fact finder to find Carter overbore Roy's willpower. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Now I agree with this. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of on board. What would be the line for you to consider a girl not liable? Like if she made an offhand comment one time. I think honestly, like almost any of these circumstances missing would probably. I just don't. The key point is here is that you have to this decision was made. You have to be overbearing someone's willpower. I think that's a good line. I think that's a good way of thinking about it. You have to overbear their willpower. Okay, how do you overbear someone's willpower? Threats. All right, there's no threats here. Someone threatens someone, sure, you're overbearing their willpower. If you're presenting someone with, yeah, if someone's got like a lack of mental agency, but it can't just be like, but then you've got to draw a line on lack of mental agency too. And what's lack of mental agency? BPD women have lack of mental agency, but it's not rape if you convince someone to sleep with you. Like, this is it's so fucking difficult. Yeah, addicts. Can you not fuck alcoholics anymore? You can't fuck an alcoholic. Like it's gotta be. It has to be an intense pressure. It has to be an intense pressure. It can't just be. It can't be like this. It can't be like this video. It can't be like this, where you're just saying, like, oh, jump in, I'll give you $20. It can't be that. You can't be saying, kill yourself, I'll give you $20. You can't be doing that. That's not punishable, surely. You have to have like a position of trust, some kind of position of trust, continuous pressure. It has to be overbearing. And I think it probably has to be up till the moment the action's taken too. Like this, when she steps back and runs up, if this woman's not still going jump, 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 I feel like the causation's broken, sort of in a similar way to that Judge was saying. Yeah, want to skinny dip? Yes. I'll give you $20. Yes. Doesn't quite qualify. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They objectively took into consideration that the woman pressured the man to enter back into his vehicle. That was a woman who had significant influence over the man. Not just that, obviously, but with the weeks of pressure and the fact that he's in a delicate mental state because of the circumstance. That all of those factors made her culpable. Just having someone who's kind of retarded and you tell them to jump into water, that's not gonna cut it. So yeah, actually, I take it back. This bitch should sue Critical for defamation. She didn't try and kill this woman. No, the hobo didn't die. The fire department got called and they fished her out. Wow, what a great tangent. What a great tangent we just went on, guys. Aren't you so happy with that? How long was that? Was that like a full hour researching that fucking... Maybe not quite a full hour. I didn't come back to the same... yeah, okay, I did come back to the same conclusion. True, yeah. But I feel more well-reasoned. I feel more well-reasoned in my perspective. It was a roller coaster. We were back and forth.